What up? We are live and welcome to another episode of What's Your Grail. I'm your host, Tony Sanders. And this time we have an interesting episode. We have a married couple that is going to give us a introspective look into collecting as a couple as well as grails. I have Solgr and Fusha Only with me tonight.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy? I hope everyone in chat's doing good. Thanks for having us. I've always been wanting to be on this show. I've always loved this show that you do.
Oh man, I'm glad that y'all enjoy it. Like I enjoy doing it, man. It's you get to see cool things. You get to see
Right.
cool books, talk to cool people, and find like different things about people.
That's it.
That's like exactly what I was telling her. I was like, it's awesome because you see what books people like and why, and it could be books that's like nothing to somebody, but to someone else, it's the world to them, you know.
Exactly. And to think you never thought you'd be on the show because you didn't have enough grails, and now you got so many.
I know. Honestly, not that
Times
long ago, I
changing.
said that once. I was like, you know what? I don't think I could ever be on a show like that though, because like, I don't have like, I don't have grails, But I mean, I guess now we have some decent ones. I guess like not like crazy big, but.
I was like, I hit y'all up. I was like, hey, y'all want to do grails? I was like, I gotta get y'all out here, man. It's like, yes, it's so. Yeah, it is true. Like there are books that some people consider grails, and some people are just like, oh, why is that a grail to you? And like to me, this book is a grail, and like I'll argue with people to the my final breath, just like this man, Death of Captain Marvel, and it's a grail to me, man. I love this book. I love the story. I mean, it's just like a classic. I've never had it slabbed, and I never would. I just like to keep it like where I could read it because it's always cool to watch and like look at it and stuff. And
such a good cover too.
It really is.
It's a Pieta cover.
Yeah.
Yes, it is one of the Pieta covers. I was not allowed to use it for the hunt because I already owned it, so everybody knew.
Speaking of Pieta, I guess this one's kind of one too. This one's a funny story because this cover has always been like a big one to us. It's the Batman 324 by the Jim Aparo cover, and like Catwoman's eyes like are closed and like she's out, and is this the end of the Catwoman? But this cover like Batman and Catwoman are like for us, like you were saying, that's kind of like a married thing, like with us, like Batman and Catwoman, like has always been like a big thing for us, and that cover has always been like one of our biggest ones, like kind of like just a personal cover kind of thing. And I tried getting that cover for so long. I lost on auctions. I got sniped so hard on an auction recently and for that book and lost it. And then
oh man, nothing worse than getting
when did we get that? Was it yesterday? Or like 2 days ago? It was like just the last day or two.
Yeah, it was.
I ended up getting it for only. I mean, I don't know what the value of it is, but the prices that the auctions were hitting and what I see it going for eBay, I got it for only like $5.
I mean, yeah, Batman and Catwoman is hot, so like that's a throwback right there. And it's like their throwback costumes and stuff, and like it was a newsstand anyway. So like,
and it's those two characters hit close for us because it's one of his favorite characters and one of my favorite characters. So it's like, hey. They're married now.
Yeah.
Well, not married. The marriage didn't happen, but but unfortunate.
Yeah, that was like a kind of a throwaway. I was like, that's kind of mad about that.
I was so mad about it too.
Well, same thing about the Colossus and Kitty Pryde, and then they switched it up and made it Gambit and Rogue, and it was like, I was like, okay.
I didn't read it. I didn't read it, but didn't she just like phase out or something, like drop through the ground or something, like just disappeared? Or I heard something like that.
Like once I heard what happened, I was like, good thing I didn't buy it because I was like, I bought the issue before, and then I was like, I was gonna buy it, and I was like, nah. I was like, and then like I heard about it, and I was like, okay. And like the Batman thing, the only thing I only regretted about not buying about the Batman was the Art Germ Catwoman where she's got like her fingers or whatever doing that weird thing with her fingers.
Oh, this one that I was about to show.
It was this one, I think.
Yes, that is a grail. That is a cover grail. That is beauty.
That is.
I 100% agree. This is a big cover grail for us too.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get to. Is like even how the wedding didn't happen. These two books mean a lot to us because it's something borrowed, something new. So it's
Yeah, when you put the two of them together.
That's the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So it's like kind of ironic the wedding didn't happen, but then I had that one behind it because I had to.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, this
crazy.
one, holy cow, the one before.
Well,
I know.
So
I think he only has like one or two more on his Catwoman ones he's been doing. I think
you're
one.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah,
the
they've
chat
been
we
good.
got Comic Head 84, one of the moderators. We got Comic Lover Omega. We got Jeffrey Comic Con Henson, my bro. What's up, Jeffrey? We got DS Comics. We got Just a Rican and his comics. Not Chad 90F. Chad just got married. See, Chad's another person that just got married, and he's going through the
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome,
he's
man.
going through the
Awesome.
yeah. Well, I was explaining to him the ordeals of collecting and being married, and like the person that you're with that doesn't collect, but they have to support your whole house.
Mhm.
They have to, like, you know, like they have to yeah.
Well, he
Right.
takes his collecting very seriously. I mean, like, he has so many Spawn toys, and when we went to the comic book store yesterday, they had gotten a bunch in, and the owner forgot to mention it, so I had to go back to the comic book store without him just to pick up these Spawn toys, and now we got like
It was
more.
like a grip of them,
Yeah.
and it was still like the early '90s, like still packaging and everything. And I got them all for $1 a piece. Like,
Oh, you can't beat that.
and
Yeah.
that's like, and that stuff's like massively important to me in my like collecting
Still in
origin
the
because that's
packaging
like
and
what
everything.
like. I mean, I was like into comics a little bit before that because like the Superman movie, the '89 Batman movie, and all that.
Mhm.
But like Spawn is like what really like got its claws in me, and like when I actually like full like collecting
Spawn
back
is like a different ball of collecting. Like that's like
Mhm.
there's so many different variants that are so like rare or so expensive. Like I've seen some, and I'm like, really that one? And I'm like, I'll go
Yeah.
look it up and like, yeah. Shout out to the great legend for being in the chat. How's it going, brother? Man, good to see you. But yeah, Spawn. I'm excited for the movie to come out too that they're going to make. So the movie's going to be excellent too. I'm going to see that.
I am too. I'm really looking forward to seeing some more scenes. I mean, because we haven't really like seen anything of it. It's just kind of you just hear stuff. Like, isn't like Jamie Foxx supposed to be in it or something? I think that's what I thought I heard is who he.
Yeah, they kept saying Jamie Foxx is supposed to play the Spawn role,
right? I think. Yeah.
So.
I think he'll kill that. That would be awesome. That's so good.
Yeah, we would be good. So that's something I'm looking forward to. So a grail, I'm gonna show you a grail. This is a cheesy grail. We're gonna call this a cheesy grail. And I've never came up with the thing before on the show before. It's always usually the guest, but this is a cheesy grail for me. And what I mean cheesy grail, I mean like it's a character that gets no respect, but I love the guy, and it's a grail for me. It's always gonna be Booster Gold #1. It's a cheesy grail. It's like hey, it's a guilty pleasure grail. Cheesy. Because it's like he gets no love, and it's like I love this character so much.
He really doesn't.
Yeah, and it's like I want him to get a movie. This is like a guy that needs to get a movie. Him and Blue Beetle, Ted Cord, those two right back there. Those two back there need a movie. These two.
You know what? I could totally seeing him being one of those characters. They make a movie, and then he's the next Guardians, or I could see him blowing. But I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Like if he gets a movie and it's done right, like I could see him being one of those.
Owen Wilson, get Owen Wilson to be Booster Gold. You just see it, be like, wow. You'd be like, wow, Steve. Wow, Steve.
Speaking of casting, oh my God! Literally just right now when we were sitting down to jump into the call with you, I don't know if the news is just breaking now or whatever. I don't know if it's a joke or a troll, but it was something about Robert Pattinson is going to be the Batman in the Matt Reeves.
What?
Yeah, like sparkling vampire Twilight dude's gonna be Batman.
Yeah, we just found out like 2
no,
seconds
somebody's trolling, right? They're trolling, right?
Dude, I saw.
Hey, so.
Can anybody in the chat confirm this? Can anybody in the chat confirm this? I know this is
all I know.
But this is important. We need to know this because if Batman's sparkling, we got a problem.
Yeah,
right.
Like all I know is I was on Instagram when I was kind of chatting with you when we were getting connected, and I like the top 3 posts from 3 different outlets. So I don't think it wasn't like just one person. Like it was like I scrolled and there was like 3 different things saying it. So
it was devastating news.
I don't know who was saying it, but I saw it several different places. Yeah, Comic Head 84. Yeah, Kenny says I heard that too about Patton.
Yeah, what? No.
Oh my god, dude.
No. How you go from Batfleck to no?
Right?
Bat Pat? You know what are you gonna call him? Bat Pat or something like Bat Pattinson or something?
No, hell,
And I was actually
no.
impressed.
Hey,
with
what's
that
up,
book.
Comic Jabroni? What's up, bro? Hey, Steven
Oh.
Spot.
No.
Hey. Oh man, that's I don't. Ugh.
Yes, like and so I know like everybody's seen Endgame, everybody's waiting on the speculation stuff. My son he's been upset since the end of Infinity War when he's seen the pager drop and he's seen the symbol and he swore it was Nova and I was like, no, son, that's Captain Marvel. And so he was mad. And so he's seen the leak thing where they were talking about like the leak or whatever. And this is his book. So this is his Nova #1. It's a 6.5. I got it from my buddy. He gave it to my son as a gift. It's a newsstand. I sent it to CGC. This is his first ever book that he had CGC. This is his Grail. And he is so ready for a Nova movie. And he swears up and down if it's not Dick Ryder, he is going to lose his mind and run through the whole school and be like, what the hell?
I know, like how could it not? But I mean, speaking, I need to
The right casting is everything.
Yes. But I'll tell you, Booster Gold, Owen Wilson as Booster Gold is money. Could you see it?
It is.
You
As
could-
soon as you said that.
You could just see it.
Yeah, you can. Wow, what that was the one I was looking for.
Well, I'll go ahead and show one of my grails.
Yeah.
I just love this one so much.
I
It's a Catwoman, and it's the Tweety and Sylvester one shot. Because growing up, I always loved Tweety Bird and Sylvester, so I had to get it, and it's one of my favorites.
That cover is dope.
That was
It
one I
is
missed
a
out
sick
on. I missed out on one of those. Like,
It's a good story too. I love it.
That Nova book you showed though reminded me because you know they're eventually gonna get that Nova movie eventually, and that book is gonna it's gonna skyrocket, and so this one was kind of a buy like that. I actually found this at my LCS for a damn good price. I think it was like the same day James Gunn was when they announced that he was reinstated.
Yeah.
So it's the first Warlock. Doesn't his first get kind of weird because there's like a first him or something?
There's like a first
Yeah.
one. I have what's this one?
So
I have this one, like this one where he fights, where it's like he fights Thor right here, and I forget which one this one is, but this is not planned, people.
At one point,
we don't plan nothing on this show, but I have these stuff laid around.
Actually, some of the books I wrote down some of the stuff on the back, but
yeah, I just have stuff laid around, so I just know where it's at sometimes. But I know I have this book, and it's like him, and it's what's it? And I don't even know what his name. Like, I'm gonna look in it. Let's look in it. I don't know what his name is on this one. If they even have a name for this one. JD's not in. It's a Thor book. JD's not in the chat, of course. So JD could have told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
God, I know his knowledge like knows no bounds. I like JD. Yeah, I love watching like the hunt and stuff. Like
by far.
It's like this is why I see why JD likes Thor, because like he just does some crazy stuff with that hammer. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. I love Thor too. Yeah, Thor's a big one.
But let's see, where's he fighting? I don't even know what he calls him. Let's see. Okay. Oh, they just say him because it's just that look. It just says what is it? Him, and then like he throws the hammer, it bounces off, and Warlock's just chilling. Like, yo, what's up?
You wanna know what? Now that now that we saw what Thor did at the end of Endgame, like where he is, I can see them kind of maybe doing that intro now, because like how we're supposed to.
Don't tell me this might be a spec book, like because they did hint to like the Warlock they were making him, and then like Thor's with, and then Beta Ray Bill, and then Thor might run in the world.
That might be. I mean,
it might be. You never know.
I mean, because I don't think I read that, but from looking at those panels,
you heard it here first. You heard it here first.
You might have. Like as soon as I was looking at that, I'm like, oh my god, like that could be his order, like
that could be a possibility. That could be he could act. Warlock could actually be like the protagonist at first in the like the well, what is it, the antagonist or whatever it is, the guy that
Yeah,
the villain,
antagonist is like bad guy. Yeah.
yeah, the bad guy, the
Yeah.
antagonist. He could be the antagonist in the actual movie at first, you know, because like the gold chick was still kind of mad at him and stuff. So you know, she'll
That's
probably
what I was gonna say. Is I think he will be one of those like types. Actually, this is a good segue. They're probably my biggest grail I have.
Be careful.
I think he'll be one of those characters where he's tricked into kind of being a villain kind of thing at first, and then later comes around, kind of like the Punisher in his first appearance.
Oh, sweet.
When the Jackal tricked him into killing Spider-Man, and so yeah, ASM 129 is 6'5", off-white. Well, off-white, 2 white. This one, like personally though, is more like probably like value-wise, you know, in the specs, in like the grand scheme of things, it's probably like the biggest book I have, but like personally wise, it's probably more like second, just based off of course, no one would be surprised by this one. The New Mutants '98.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
Deadpool's like my favorite character. This one, you know, would obviously be would be bigger to me.
That is
And I'm big.
one that-
Well, I'll never own.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is
Then
one
there's like
that-
those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we're Grail Bros.
Oh, 8'5". Yeah, see, I was gonna say that too. I was gonna say, isn't yours
Yeah.
8'5" too?
Yeah, 8'5", yeah.
That's awesome.
That's like so.
Yeah,
we're Grail
is yours
Bros.
white? Is yours a white pager too?
Yeah, white pages. Yeah.
White pager, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So, like,
that's awesome.
heck yeah. I was like, I just like I wanted it, and it was like, I just like the cover on it. Really, it's like the cover.
Mhm.
Like I've always liked Liefeld, and I'll always tell people like a Grail to me, a personal Grail, and I always show it is, and this is the Grail that started this whole journey. The What's Your Grail, the whole YouTube channel, the meeting all these cool
Mhm.
people, going to C2E2, and this book right here, man, one of the weirdest books. One of the weirdest books ever to be like somebody's Grail, but X-Force One, signed by Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld is responsible for my whole YouTube existence and such, but I'll never admit to it. No, well, I will. But yeah, this is like this is a cool deal for me because like I got this signed and I didn't know about slabs back then, man. Like I didn't know about
Yeah, I
slabs.
mean, with how old the industry is, like slabs are, you know, a heartbeat, you know, compared to, you know, they haven't been as big as they are for that long, or like a thing really, you know, compared to, you know, the industry that's 80, 90 years old or whatever, you know. But
yeah, I was one of the like, you know, I was like bag and board dude, you know, bag and board and box and put it away and don't mess it up, and it's worth something later on if you don't mess it up. And then
oops, sorry, go ahead.
Somebody was like, you know, oh, put it in the slab, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it with the X-Force One though. I mean, because X-Force, I'm a big fan of that too. That a lot of that early and mid '90s and all that stuff that was going on, like Spawn and all that too. Like, because like Liefeld fits with all that too. And
Oh yeah, and like
that was all that stuff was really big. And like I have X-Force One as well, but this one it is a big one too. X-Force 15, just like that Deadpool and Cable cover.
I was like, that's a
what's
that? It's a Capullo. Wait, is it Capullo?
It is Capullo, yeah, if I remember right.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is Capullo. Yeah. A lot of
and
people
it's
don't
funny
know
'cause
that.
I actually have a T-shirt that's and it's funny because I actually didn't even know that for like quite a while, but yeah. And then speaking of Capullo, actually, like I said, Spawn.
Lots
Obviously.
of Spawn.
So, like,
Lots of
Shout out
Spawn.
Spawn
Biggie
number
Stack,
one.
Atomic Quarter 210.
You will all see the
JP's
Spawn
budget
wall when we're
collector.
done getting everything put together.
Yeah.
That is-
So the Spawn number one, of course.
Man, it takes me back. Like I didn't realize how hard it is to find those. Like, I mean, like they're supposed to be everywhere. I mean, like, yeah, they're like when I went to go find one, I couldn't find it, and I was like, why can't I find? I could find two and like up, but I couldn't find. Like, I could find Angela all day. Like, I could find Angela. But
Yeah,
for some reason,
that
I couldn't find just the one, and I was like, and my buddy at his shop, he was like, yeah, you're not gonna find one because like he's like, I got them all.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems like. Spawn fans and collectors, they hoard, they collect like as many as they can. Cause like I know I have some other like friends that are Spawn fans and they have tons of them.
Oh yeah, I got a buddy that's got like 3 or 4 of them, and I only got one. I just have one, and it's like,
well, like I almost got a slabbed one because like this one's just raw, like in a top loader, you know.
Yeah.
Like I found I think it was at our LCS had like a. I think it was it was at the con. It was at our con we went to. It was like a 9.6 or a 9.8, and I almost got it, but I was like, But yeah. What I was saying. Speaking of Capullo, here's his Spawn 16, his first Spawn cover.
Man, that's
and
cool,
this was
dude.
back when he like kind of made his name and stuff. Was on the Spawn run, and so this one's always kind of been a big personal one.
Quick Capullo lesson or history lesson for everybody. Greg Capullo used to work on Quasar at Marvel, and whenever he was doing, like, if people were like, how do you know that? Because I used to read Quasar. Okay, there was no Captain Marvel, there was only Quasar, so they had Greg Capullo. He was one of the best artists that they had on Quasar, and he left there, and then he started doing X-Force, and then at that time he was doing another one I forgot, but then he ended up doing Spawn after that, and then now he's the guy that you all know for Batman and all this other stuff. So, but Quasar, go look it up.
Yeah, I want to look up that stuff now because like I'm trying to think of because I know I've never really read Quasar. Or, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out because it was his pre-Spawn stuff. So
yeah. Pre-Spawn. It was like back in the day. And speaking of Deadpool, you gotta have you gotta pull out this cable if you're talking about Deadpool because they go together. And this is
true.
Yeah, this is my 8.5, and I don't know. It's like it's a Liefeld McFarlane cover, and this is like.
Yeah, I love that. I love how it's both of them. This one, So here's my New Mutants 87. Mine's just a raw one, top loaded again.
Oh yeah.
I gotta shout out Burke Nasty for this one though. That's actually where I got this from.
Oh, for real? Burke Nasty.
I got this from him, and the Marvel Team Up Spider-Man, the first black suit one. I can't remember the number, like 141.
Oh yeah. It's right there. Yeah, 141. Yeah.
See, and that's like one of like the specific things I collect too. Is I go for the black suit Spidey covers and
see, like that's
so, I should have brought that one. I should have brought that one down to show because it is pretty important. But I'm just like I already have so much crap, you know.
Yeah, that's and it's like sometimes it's like when black suit on the hunt last time I should have grabbed the black suit Transformer and something told me nah, don't get it. And Jeffrey grabbed the same book and I was like, all right, what are the odds? I was like, Jeffrey. And he won, and I was like, "Wow, I should have grabbed the book that I was going to get," and I passed it up because I was like, "Nah." And it was Black Suit, though, the one where he's wrapping around Megatron, number three. But yeah, that was like, I was just like, man, I kicked myself for not getting it. And walk back, and it won't be there. I'll be like, man.
Oh, guaranteed. That's how it is. I swear, if you pass on something.
Oh yeah. That's it. Like to this day, I passed up on Eternals #1. It was at this LCS. It wasn't my buddy's shop. It was this other LCS. It's the LCS that had the Vulture. So if you haven't heard this story, there's a shop I go to. It's not my buddy's shop. It's another shop I go to. And there's a guy in there that's knowledgeable about comics as much as we are. And he knows like the market, and he watches stuff that goes up and spikes, and he watches like, us or Comic Tom or whoever he can watch, And anytime he gets anything in the store that's worth any money, it magically disappears and it ends up in his collection. So I call it a vulture. A vulture.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. So it's like you're not gonna get in because like the guy that had the collection that brought it in, he had it was a first appearance of Tarantula. I wanted to buy it. We were talking and whenever the guy put the collection over there, the guy was like, "Oh, the Vulture guy was like, oh, we're gonna buy it, and this and that. We're gonna go ahead and get it." And I was like, "Cool. I want to get the first Tarantula or whatever because the guy, me and him were talking or whatever." And he was like, "Oh, that's already, I already got that." So I'm like, "Well, I didn't get the book." Yeah. So he's like, "I already got that." So blah blah blah. Blah. I'm like, "So to who? Me? Yes, me. I'm here. Yes, money."
Now.
Yeah, this there was one of them that I couldn't just pass up. I couldn't because I love Elvira and it had Edgar Allan Poe. So this is definitely one of my grails too. Is the art on it is just so beautiful, and I loved Edgar Allan Poe's
That is
writing in
cool. What is
books.
that?
So
Like
it's Elvira.
Yeah,
Elvira's
yeah,
like Elvira's
yeah,
like
because it is
classic, man.
a
Did she ever age?
Yeah.
'Cause I've seen like a picture of her. She still looks the same.
she
She
still looks
does.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's aging very well. Yeah.
Like the
And she was
last time,
smart.
yeah, like last time I seen her, I was like, she's sucking somebody to death.
She's drinking from the fountain of youth.
Yeah, soul harvesting or something like.
Something
So-
like that.
So since Endgame, if you've been following me on Instagram or if you've been following me lately, since Endgame happened, everybody knows I'm a Captain America fan, and I've been praising his accomplishments for the whole time I've been on YouTube, and a Captain Marvel fan. But what really surprised me about the Endgame movie was the Tony Stark aspect, and I find myself at a point where now I've come to the conclusion that if I have to choose a third hero to like, it's gonna be Iron Man. And so now I've been like slowly, getting like stuff for Iron Man. Like I got Iron Man 1. This is a grail for me.
That's high on my list. Like
Yeah.
that's a grill I want, but I don't have that one. But yeah.
Yeah, this is a grail for me. I was happy to get this. It was a sweet deal, and now that it's kind of going up now because it's all the in-game thing. But I was glad to get that, and it's like that, and then the one with the gauntlet on the hand. That's going. I got that. I found that at my buddy's shop. I'm sending that to CGC. Hopefully, it comes back at 9.8 or at least 9.6. I don't care, whatever. I just want it to come back, but like I just want it in case for right now until I can somehow get Robert Downey Jr. to sign that book, because that would be cool to have, like just to have that, like that book just signed with that moment.
That's going to be the only one out there, because there might be other books out that book out there signed by the creators or whatever. There might be a few of them out there or whatever. Yeah. But that book signed by like Robert Downey, that's probably going to be the only one.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not big on celebrity signatures, but
I'm not either. But that one would be dope.
That one would be, and then I'm gonna go ahead and say this one too would be one that I would get signed by Chris Evans. This would be one that you could get signed by Chris Evans. Get him to sign this because this is a significant moment in that movie, and this is a significant, like a little, like it's a. You might as well say it's a key now because since the movie came out, people know what this is now. So it's like it's Thor 390. It's when Cap lifts the hammer for the first time. Mm-hmm. So I would get Chris Evans to sign this and be like, "Hey, Chris Evans signed it." It's when he lifts the hammer.
Well, sorry, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, speaking of signatures, I had started reading Postal and fell in love with it. So then he orders me this book, and it became a grail. I was so excited to get it signed by Matt Hawkins, and he didn't show up to the con. He canceled last minute. It's like, I'm going to treat you like Sheldon treated Will Wheaton. It's like, come on, you're supposed to show up. And apparently he didn't show up like 2 days in a row. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll see him at another con, but... this is one of my grails that came this close to getting a signature until I found out the day before that the guy wasn't even going to be there.
Man, this one I'm going to get slapped real fast.
Which one? What is it?
This one I just got signed at our con. So it's a Punisher #1 variant by Mike Zeck, but it's like the #1 from like the current run, but it's like a variant cover that he signed and I have like the original like #1s and stuff he did. Oh yeah, there's this one. Yeah, that one right there. See, this is the one that I would have gotten signed by him too, but I didn't have it at the time. I didn't find it till after.
That is a big cover too.
Yeah.
I've been looking for that one too. Like,
I'm a little
stuff, but like I like Mike Zeck stuff though.
I do too, yeah.
I'm a little spoiled by him because he actually got me this one for my birthday, and it means the world to me because when we both got into collecting together, it was the first title book that I picked up, and I ended up getting it in trade paperback, and it was the Monstrous #1, and he got it for my birthday.
That is like a big book. Everybody is like talking about that. Monstrous is like a big hit.
It is so good.
Yeah, they cleaned house this year. They won like 5
awards.
What's the
Eisner's,
yeah.
Eisner Awards. Yeah, this
So
storyline is
that's what I
so
would call like a modern grail, because like every time somebody says something about like, oh, a good storyline, I hear monstrous. What's that, Saga and
Saga.
something else? I hear something else, but monstrous and Saga is like the first two that I hear.
Yeah,
So,
and
it's funny because those are like her two favorite series. Yeah, because like you wanted like a married couple's perspective, so it's like I said, I did start collecting back in the day, but I was also out of it for a decade and a half or something,
while,
you know.
yeah. And I was too.
And me and her just got back into it only like a year and a half ago. So
what motivated y'all to get back into it? What
what kind of like.
What was it? It was just
we were over at her sister's and brother-in-law's house, and he's always been into comics still the whole time, and I would talk to him about him, but I'm of course talking about back when I was, you know, like, and we went over there and I read Umbrella Academy. The trade was just sitting right there, you know, and so I just like started reading it, and I got like halfway through it, and it wasn't necessarily, I mean, the book was good, but it wasn't necessarily like the book was so good it made me go get it, but it was like I just fell in love with that, just the, you know, the sequential storytelling and just all that again. It just,
which is
rush and nostalgia came back kind of thing.
Actually, at first when we started going to the comic book store all the time, we were going every Saturday because we didn't, like, we had been out of it for so long, we didn't realize that Wednesday was New Comic Book Day. And we're like, oh wait,
let's go Wednesday. We didn't even have like a poll yet.
Yeah, and we didn't have any titles that we like knew how to jump on, because that's the thing when you get back into collecting is it's hard to know where to jump on at. Like this weekend and everything like that.
So when we left their house that day, we knew that his LCS and you had gone there a few times before, because like she even kind of dabbled a little bit before we even met.
Yeah, because my brother-in-law had taken me to Volts, and that's when I got Quiver and Green Arrow, which is also one of my grails. I'm gonna find it here in my pile, but if I can ever get this signed by Matt Smith, I will. Kevin Smith. Jesus, I might die. It's been a long day for me, but
that is cool.
Yeah, that is one of my grails that he actually found for me.
Story.
I didn't even
know. I've never met Kevin Smith, but I've met Jay. Jay is hilarious.
He is hilarious.
Yeah,
that's my superhero name.
I've met Jay. I've met what's his name? The one that I'm not supposed to be here today. the one that says that. What's his name? Dante. Is it Dante? Yeah, I think it's Dante.
Yeah.
So, I've met Dante, and I've met I met Ming too. Ming is cool too.
He goes around the cons and stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if he comes here, but I've
I
seen him
feel bad for him after watching Comic Book Men, like binging on Comic Book Men. I kind of feel bad for him. I'm like, he's but he seems so cool.
They would always pick on him. They pick on him, you know.
Yeah. But he's like real nice.
Super nice.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he does seem really awesome. That's
So we went to the comic book store that day and just been going ever since again, you know. But
it's kind of a joint venture, a joint decision. Then,
we dove in kind of at the same time. It's weird. So like we dove back in at the same time, but like we also both had like a past before we even knew each other in it.
And there were some times where he would be taking longer than me. I'm like, okay, I found everything I wanted to get. Let's go. And then other times it'd be reversed where he's like, okay, you ready to go? And I'm like, no, wait, I'm looking for something. And it just goes back and forth. And it's still
sometimes
like that.
Sometimes she's dragging me out. Sometimes I'm dragging her out.
There was one day I had gotten the second Monstrous and I had bought it and it was at home and we were at the comic book store and he was taking forever. So I'm just standing there reading the trade while I'm there because I'm like, well, I already bought it. So, I mean,
she'd already bought it and it was
it's just home. Not with me. It's at home.
But she wanted
and
to read
he's taking forever. So I may as well find something to do. I already looked over everything.
Oh, that's how it is though. Like, see, my wife she's not a person that will go with me to my sons will go if I go to my buddy's shop, but if I go to a different shop, they don't want to go because they're like, Dad. I told them, I was like, why do you not like going to the other ones, but like you'll go to my buddy's shop? They're like, because my buddy has like a little British bulldog that's called Tank, and like he runs around the store and like they love that dog, and so Tank's there, and then like he's like, oh, we hang out with buddy and we have a good time, And I'm like, all right, man, I know, but like, like when we go to, and he's like, they have stuff to do because it's more than just like, it's comics, but it's like got like old school like Nintendo games and stuff in there and stuff. He's got like
Right.
actual video games set up where you can play them like arcade style,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
so they have fun there. But like when we go to like other ones, they hate waiting with me. Because I'll dig for a while.
Oh yeah,
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
At some point, yeah, I can't talk right now. Sorry. At some point here and there, I'll just like remember things that I need to look up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna look for that. Oh yeah, I was gonna look for this, and it's like
Yeah.
he's mostly into like the superhero DC and Marvel, and I'm mostly into the indie. But
That's what I was gonna say. Our tastes
yeah.
are like not like crazy different, but
See,
Yeah.
mine's weird. See, mine's weird. Like I don't know. I don't have a DS was telling me he was like, you just have like a weird, just off kind of. Because I don't have a real set plan, and I don't really have like a desired taste in books. Because like I bought Crow #1, and that's an indie book, but to me it's something that I wanted. And the Flash, I wanted the Flash, and then I wanted the first Captain. I looked at the.
I love that Flash of Two Worlds. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
that is cool. I love the show, man. The show is so good.
Mhm.
If you've not seen the show, the guy that plays the Reverse Flash and Harrison Wells and Earbar Thawne and all those Harris, dude, that guy needs an Emmy every year because that
isn't it like
guy,
Tom Cavanaugh? I think.
yeah,
Yeah, Tom Cavanaugh.
Wasn't it like within the first 3 seasons, DeVito Ambrosio?
Oh
I
yeah.
talked to him on the phone
So the guy
Yeah.
that plays the mayor,
in like
he
the
only
first.
pops up every now and then. But
Yeah.
the guy that plays the mayor in that show, in that universe, she
Yeah.
talked to at her old job because she did like.
I was doing consumer loans at the time, so I did a loan for him and his wife, and he's like, "Oh, I'm an actor," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's cool. What have you been in?" And he's like, "Oh, I was in the Flash TV show." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I was just like taken back by it, and he's like, "Okay, can my wife take over the rest of the call because I got to get going to a
Audition.
audition?" And I'm like, "Okay."
DS says I have an eclectic collection.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, saying like this one, you wouldn't think would be a Grail for me, but it's one of the ones that he recommended, and sometimes I get overwhelmed when he gives me way too many books at a time. Where I'm like, "Whoa, I already got a short box full." Like, give me a minute. But I'm very thankful that he had me read this one because I loved this story arc in The Brave and the Bold with the Batman and Wonder Woman. Like, and I love this cover. I loved the art throughout all of it, and the story and everything was just so incredible.
Yeah,
and
like, all right,
this one is because of him.
like was it just me or was like didn't they used to have where like Batman and Wonder Woman used to be kind of like a thing, like low key, and then like all of a sudden they switched it to where like it's now Superman. At one point in time it was Superman and Wonder Woman, and then like they stopped doing that, and now it's just like Superman and Lois or whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's like just it depends on like what area you're reading in, you know, like where and comics, you know, like numbering and continuity, and like it gets so screwy sometimes, and
it really does.
Shout out to Bucha.
Bucha.
But no, I totally get what you mean by like how Dia said how you have like an eclectic collection, you know, because I'm kind of the same thing too, where you kind of collect a little bit of everything, and
there's very little that I give for you to
where,
read, and you still need to catch up on Monstrous.
You know, where you know, I'll even get like I grew up a huge like horror fan, like the Jason, you know, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all that, but then also like old stuff like this, like the Frankenstein's monster. Excuse me, sorry, John Buscema there. And, Swamp Thing was a big one. I'm still looking for the #1, but I have like 2 through.
That's a cool book.
20 or something, but Bernie Wrightson. I'm really looking for the #1, but and, I mean this one's like not in the best shape. But
you need to get JD to help you. JD's a master at
right?
Swamp Things.
No, dude, I swear, watching The Hunt hit like when I started watching that, like that is what really like stepped up my like, especially like back issue hunting and key hunting and stuff like that. And,
oh yeah, by far. It kicked him into overdrive. Like he went from getting $5 to $10 to $15 to now 20 bucks, and I'm like, this.
Because sometimes when you're out there, man, it's like, you know, it's like you're looking and it's like you're looking and it's like, oh, look, I found this. Oh wow,
Right.
this is it. What? Why do you ever get moments where you're like, why do I remember this cover? And you know you remember it for a reason, and you're looking at it, and it's like, why do I remember this? And then it's like you buy it anyway, and then you take a chance, or either you look it up on eBay, or you look it up on the Key Collector app, or whatever you do. But like, it's like if you remember, sometimes it's like, oh, I remember this cover for an odd reason, or I seen it on somebody's channel or something.
And then you get home and realize you already have it.
Yeah.
That's how it usually goes.
I've done that a few times before. He's like, "Oh wait, I already bought it." I'm like, "Goodness gracious!"
I've been starting to get my collection of these too, like the old magazine, like Vampirellos.
Oh. Well, and this one is pretty old, and well, maybe not too old. I'm not sure. It's been, but it. What was it you called it? The Grail, the birthday.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was your show with Comic Smurf from last week. Like I think you said JD. It's like a thing JD does, like the birthday books. Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, birthday books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this would be one of hers.
A funny story about this one is, yeah, I love Star Trek, you know, live long and prosper. So I have Star Trek, and it was #1 out in April. And I actually have a scar on my hand that's like the symbol from being too close to the bacon grease when my mom was cooking when I was a kid.
Yeah, she got a bacon grease burn that's like the shape of the.
It looks
Star
like
Trek.
the Star Trek beam me up triangle
cool.
thing.
And
So
it's
when we
newsstand
saw-
copy too.
Yeah, when we saw this one, we had to get it. Like, I was searching through other ones, and he comes running up to me with this one. I'm like, oh my god, we're getting it. We have to.
This is probably like the oldest book we own, maybe. Or yeah, it is. Action
I think it is,
237. It's from 1958, so it's not like, because like we don't have any Golden Age yet. I still haven't gotten my Goldie yet, but.
Oh yeah, when you dip into that golden age, it's some murky water, and you might get snatched up into it. I was able to dip in twice, but like I think my foot is missing a toe.
Yeah.
Well, see, and here's
I know when you're going for that Golden Age cat.
Well, here's another crazy one. It's Catwoman, and it's funny because it is April of '89 when I was born, but it's also 3 out of 4, and I'm the third child out of 4. So it's like those weird numbers just like always come to me, and yeah. So I saw that one
your
and had to
favorite
get
character
it.
too, like.
And I was lucky because when we found these, we actually found all 4 of them together.
Oh really?
And it was 1 through 4, so we found all 4 of them in a set, and I'm like, we're getting
I remember that cover for some reason, but I do remember that cover.
And that it's her first solo like miniseries. It was like her first volume. Like it was just a 4-issue mini, and they were all there at our LCS 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, holy cow! Like, I mean, because back then, like they didn't print like a crazy high number of them back then. You know, like I mean, they're probably not like super rare, but like somewhat rare. You know,
somewhat.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Cap, I got to show you this cover. It's more of a modern one. This guy is easily probably my favorite cover artist right now, Lucio Perillo. Like, I don't know, did you see this Cap cover when it came out?
Yes, I didn't get it. I was like, oh, I kicked myself for it. It is a good cover.
God, dude, right?
Perillo kills it, man. He did like a Green Lantern.
Yeah. Okay, that's when I fell in love with him. When this dropped, I'm like, that's probably my favorite cover. Probably Blair from the top loader, but yeah, that Green Lantern, holy cow!
Yeah, if you don't have that Green Lantern,
it's
y'all
beautiful.
This thing is, this was like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's probably my favorite cover of all time. Like immediately,
it's like an instant wall book. It's going in the Snappets, and it's going to be on display.
And then he did. There's the Punisher one he did.
See, Perillo's been killing it.
This one too. I could see this one being I don't know if it's really like spiked at all, but I could see it maybe 5-10 years down the line or whatever. But the Red Hood one.
See, I didn't get that one either. Like that's supposed to be a good one too.
Yeah, I remember like seeing everything about it selling out when it was coming out, but I don't. Where the hell did I even find this one at? I can't remember.
Shout out to
I think the Nerd Store.
Comics Buellers in the
I think it was the Nerd
Mr.
Store.
Gretzky.
Hey, Bueller.
Hello. This one, I think you guys seen me post on Instagram before. Is the first Grail that I ever received, and he actually surprised me with it because sometimes I tend to guess what he surprises me and then it's not a surprise.
This one's a really big one for her.
But this one is a really big one. It's the #1 Catwoman, and it's the embossed cover. I love this book.
Of the Jim Balent like 90s run.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Jim
that's a cool
Balent's
one.
art is so good because I'm still going through and reading some of Jim Balent's old stories, and his art
That's
is
when
just
she had the
so
purple suit
incredible.
with the knee-high boots.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
This
The
one
good
is
stuff indeed.
really close to a huge grail of mine. So this is the next step. So this is the second appearance of Moon Knight. Yeah, Werewolf by Night 33.
Oh, me and you are in the same boat. Oh, hold on a second. Show it again. Hold on. Let me click on it real quick. Hold on. Yeah. Me and you are
Yeah, I
in the
got
same
this.
boat.
I actually found this at our con. When was our con? Like a month ago or something like that. But yeah.
I found this
Love
one at
Moon
our
Knight.
con, and I almost bought it, and you wouldn't tell me why I shouldn't buy it. And I'm like, how are you telling me not to buy a book? Like, what is going on? And then I realized it's because he already ordered it, and it's on the way, and then we received it. And it's the Catwoman.
Ooh, the wedding dress.
Yeah, the wedding dress. It's the Batman variant number 50. And there's 3 little cats on the dress, and they're just so cute. So,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Moon Knight deal, man. Yeah, I'm stuck in that boat too because I gotta get the first appearance for my son. I've looked, and I'm an advocate of if you can't get the first, get the second appearance. And yeah, I've been looking at one of those for my son, and my son's just like, he's like, oh, see, this is my son's logic, and it's funny, and I see where he's coming from. He's like, oh, you do all these shows and you get all these books for you, but I can't get one Moon Knight. So you gotta love that logic in a 15-year-old.
Of course.
Right. Speaking of which, I forgot about this one because I was gonna show some of the other like slabs and stuff, but I forgot I even got this one recently since I was just showing some of the Perillo stuff. But this is the one he did for Infinity Wars Prime, so the one of Thanos he did. I don't know if I'm trying to see where I can hold this without the glare, but
oh, I can see it though.
Yeah, because it is kind of a dark color a little bit, but in person, like it's a little bit better. But yeah, that pillow it's crazy because he paints everything too.
Okay, CBN is asking what's better, a cameo or a second appearance. Okay, now this is a double-edged sword, man. Let me tell you about. Okay, now right here, this is considered a cameo, and this is the first appearance of Wolverine as a cameo. But you see him. If you ever seen the picture, it's like it's him, and he's saying something. He even talks and says, "I'm the Wolverine," and he's got it's a full picture of him in the back.
Even has the name drop too.
Yeah, he drops his name and everything, but it's considered a cameo. So that is not that is not considered like his first appearance. But this book is worth some money because it is a cameo first appearance. Now the second appearance of his is redunculous because it's giant size X. So second appearance and win on that one, and then but if you think about Deadpool, look at Deadpool. Deadpool's first appearance is worth a few $100, like $400, $500. But his second appearance,
then his second appearance, X-Force number 2.
You can get those all day long,
Yeah, like $5 or $10 or something usually, like nothing crazy.
So, the dogs are upset. Hey, chill out. Chewy.
I know. I wonder if they have like a set thing to like when a cameo eventually when it stops being a cameo, like if it's like 1 or 2 panels,
yeah.
What does the panel number have to hit that they're in
to be like a first appearance?
Because I'm sure there's probably been a cameo when they're in more than like 2 or 3.
Well, some people say it has to be like they have to be on the cover, and like that's the first. That's like the Major X thing going on or whatever. But what's funny is like, all right, he's supposed to be like the first appearance in Major X1 or whatever. Then like they had the thing where he's supposed to be in like Spider-Man Dead cameo appearance in Spider-Man Deadpool or whatever. And Rob Liefeld did the big, had a big fit about it. And but what's funny is like if you got the second printing of the variant of the Major X of #1, he's helmetless. He doesn't have his helmet on. So that is like his first appearance on the cover without the helmet. So that was supposed to be like a major thing too. So I don't know. So those
I see, and I could see that one probably being more valuable than the cameo one. It will end up being probably.
Yeah, because it's like his first time without his helmet on, and I was like, that would be worth more than having, just like, oh, he might have been the Spider-Man or something like that.
Oh,
yeah, I didn't even hear about that, about the second printing one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's like character grails and stuff too. So like Doctor Doom is another big favorite character. Here's Uncanny 145, so it was a Doom appearance, and Uncanny X-Men 145. I actually got this one on an auction win from I think it's from the Murfinator. I think is who I got that one from.
I just showed that to Jeffrey. I gotta send that to Jeffrey. I gotta send it to Jeffrey.
Storm, yeah.
Yeah, because he loves Storm. I got one.
Oh, this one too. Speaking of Jeffrey, Hulk 144, the Doom on the cover.
Oh yeah.
This cover too. Yeah, I love that cover. That one's up there too.
You want to know an underrated? All right, you want to know an underrated Doom cover that you should get? Luke Cage Hero for Hire #9. It's the issue where Luke Cage goes to Avengers mansion, I think it is, or tower, wherever he goes. He steals one of the Quinjets, like fights his way in, steals a Quinjet, flies to Liberia because Dr. Doom stiffed him on some money on a deal that he was supposed to do. Fights his way into Liberia, beats up everybody, beats Doom up in his castle. So this is Luke Cage #9. You have to read it. It's hilarious. It's like Doom. It's like all he wanted was his money. That's all he wanted.
That's so funny.
That's great.
That's what it took for Doom to finally get his ass handed to him. Is mess with somebody's money.
Yeah, and it's like, they talk about Squirrel Girl and stuff. I'm like, nobody talks about when Luke Cage put the whoop on him. I was like, he went to his house and beat him up.
Right.
The squirrel at our apartment came back. We named him Rocket and left him out nuts.
Yeah, we get this massive squirrel. Like he just chills on top of our like balcony, like hand railing, like rail.
Yeah.
And like he just like sits there like for hours. Like, you normally don't see squirrels like hold still. They're normally all over the place. This dude like just chills.
Yeah. Kachun was talking about Thanos, and he was saying about Captain Marvel 26, which is this right here, this is the first book this is a grail for me. This is the first book I ever had CGC sent in or had graded or whatever. And
it's a beautiful book.
And that's the first appearance of Thanos. They say it. This is how they pronounce. This is what it says. It says, "Thing, Thanos, death, and Super Skrull appearance, death and death of Scrag or somebody, whoever that is. First Thanos cover. Thanos saga begins." So this is his first cover appearance. This is so. It's not saying it's saying this is his first time on the cover. This is his first appearance on the cover. It's not saying
it's not saying like first cameo or like first full appearance.
First cameo appearance, first any full appearance. It's just saying on the cover. So that's that's kind of like like they do stuff like that. That's weird to me. That's like saying like Booster Gold, this is his first cover appearance, first cameo appearance, all in one. But just if they don't have
their own.
Yeah, so it's like
to each their own.
It just says first Thanos cover, but it doesn't say first appearance. It doesn't say, whatever. And this ain't even Def's if this isn't even Def's first she has another appearance way back in the day or something like that. It's weird. It's a weird appearance too. I seen a video on it one time. I was like, that's weird. But yeah.
See, I'm kind of the same thing with with like #1s and stuff. Like obviously I normally like volume 1 number ones, their first number one, like their first number one, like of their solo or whatever.
Yeah.
But then some characters, actually a lot of characters, like that Catwoman one she showed earlier, and like Deadpool, where their first was just a mini. So I like going for their first ongoings, because like if they're at issue 700 or whatever, this was the number one to that. If you're going off like legacy numbering or whatever, so that's why this one, Deadpool number one from his first ongoing, is kind of a big one for me.
Ed McGuinness, man, I love Ed McGuinness artwork.
Mm-hmm. And it's awesome in the slab since it was a wraparound. So yeah, the back too, but yeah, Ed McGuinness is dope.
Man, he's killing it on Avengers. And like anything he did, man, I liked Ed McGuinness because like he always reminded me of like a modern Arthur Adams, and I liked Arthur Adams back in the day. So
actually, that's a nice segue.
Is it out of reach?
The only gold label we have. And like I didn't get it signed and shipped to CGC ourselves, so like I got it like this, but it's Astonishing X-Men 43 by Arthur Adams.
I'm jealous because I don't have any Arthur Adams signatures.
Really? Yeah. See, I mean, like, yeah, like I still like it and stuff. I mean, it'd be a little bit cooler like if I actually like got to meet him, but it's it's a gorgeous cover, and I've always loved.
Speaking of being able to meet him, we had gone and seen Jim Lee at the comic book store, and we went last minute, and so I ended up getting my Wildcats signed by him.
Awesome.
But then we also, so it was my very first signature that I had ever been to, and I didn't realize that the ink smears. So only about 2 of the 4 books survived out of the 4 that we took. But they did happen to have this one that we ended up getting that was signed by Jim Lee too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that one's one of our grails. Like it's both, right?
Yeah.
The Batwing has made its appearance on What's Your Grails. and your wife busted it out.
Yeah. By the one and only Fusha Only. You never know what to expect.
You don't.
Oh man.
True.
Yeah.
But no, I just
that Jim the Wildcats, that is like a book that I have, like it's way back there in the top right there. But it's a book that I keep on my shelf because it's a book that I enjoyed as a kid, and it was a story that I enjoyed the artwork. Jim Lee. It was like Jim Lee's first time getting to cut loose on his own, and I enjoyed it. And man,
it was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
The cartoon killed the whole thing, though. I was like, why did they give him a cartoon like that? I was like,
right? I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, see, this is the only other one that survived the signature.
Yeah, see, I'm glad this one survived because this was a big important book for me. So this is the one I had him sign, the X-Men #1, the fold out variant.
Gatefold, yes.
Yeah, gatefold, yeah.
But we all make mistakes, and it happens. And hey, it was my first signature, and now I know I need to let the ink dry.
See, next time,
get
the you gotta get the X-Men, the one where it's his first work in X-Men. He likes to sign that, like when it's his first work in X-Men.
Isn't it? What number is it again? Isn't it like 266 or something? Is it? I could be way off, but
I think it's 240.
Because I have been
246. I think it's
146. Yeah, 246. Yeah, I've been trying to get that one too. That one, so yeah, his first X-Men, and then his first wasn't his first like Marvel, the Alpha Flight one, 50.
Right here.
And I know
he had graded 7.0, signed by Jim Lee.
Oh,
151.
Beautiful.
Yellow on yellow, man, it looks great, doesn't it?
That looks so good.
That's like a signature grail for me right there, boy. When I found out what the significance of this book was, like. I was like, this book actually came from overseas, like from Europe. I paid more for the shipping than the book. I wanted this book because I was like, dude, because like he had it in gold and then it was like yellow, and I was like, man, and then like at the time I was like, man, if there was any way to get like a yellow label, and because the only way you could get it'd be like CBCS and it'd be a red label, and it'd be like, I'm like, good. So when EGF, they were like, "Oh, we'll give you gold labels for signature authentication." I was like, "Dude," and it just pops. It,
Done yesterday.
Yeah, extend
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
It's like
extend
done
it.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Get it on its way. It's already late.
So it
So
pops.
so in that was that his first Marvel, or was it like his
Yeah.
first
Well, this
like
the
Marvel cover?
No, the cover is not him. The interior
Okay, it
work
was
is done by
interior.
him.
Okay.
The cover is done by somebody else. The interior work is all him.
Okay.
So the cover is actually I think the cover is actually who is it? Let me see.
Yeah, because I remember it was like he did one of them, but not yeah.
It's the Hillary Barta and Walt Fatascio did the cover. But what
Okay.
but this is the thing though. Okay, Walt Fatascio was an inker at this time. He was not an
Yeah.
artist. He was just an inker. So
He was inking everything.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he at that time he was inking Jim Lee. So so if you ever see like a similarity between him and Jim Lee, that's why, because he was always inking.
Oh
Jim.
yeah. Yeah, I've always kind of
Yeah.
seen that too. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
was this is kind of like a modern one, like a slab. I think it like came free actually with that Thanos one or something. But it was the Del Auto Silver Surfer Best Defense #1. So I'm a huge Silver Surfer fan too. So and I love Del Auto. So this one's like
Oh yeah, the Lano's
big
killing
one.
stuff. And Silver Surfer, yeah, I'm just waiting for a good movie for him because like there's a lot of fans of Silver Surfer. I remember playing that horrible was it NES or Super? The Silver Surfer game they had back in the day, and it was like I beat that game. I beat it, and I don't know if anybody else ever beat it, but I beat that game. I struggled the whole summer, but I played that one Silver Surfer game all summer long, and it was so bad, but I beat it, and when I beat it, I was like, I'll never do it again.
Right. What was it on? Because I've been a huge gamer my whole life.
It
I don't
was
remember that.
it was either I want to say it was like either I want to say like Nintendo or Super Nintendo, like Super NES. I want to say like Super
Okay,
NES,
so that back then.
and it was like
Wow.
it had different levels. Like there was one level like you're riding like Silver Surfer's like riding like that, you know, it's going up and down. Like there's some levels where you're just like going like you're like a top view and you're going back and forth like this.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, have you played that Spider-Man game at all?
Man,
PS4?
my son's a beat it. My son's I think one of my sons platinum did. I don't think that's because
I haven't played it as much as I'd like. So,
Like,
yeah, it's fun.
it's like I try to play it and then they come in and push me off. Like, go read your books, Dad. Go do something, Dad. Go do some dad stuff, Dad.
Right.
Like this is forget. You know that they think it's forget. And like I laugh and I laugh and I have a good time because it's funny to me because like I see myself and my kids because like whatever like when I was a gamer that's how I was. I'm like, yo, get out the way, I'm playing, you know. And so like they're gamers, they're collectors, you know. They my son, he loves Shazam, he loves or as Great Legend would put it, the original Captain Marvel, and Great Legend will like that because my son does love the original Captain Marvel, and my son does give me heck, and I give him heck back and forth about Captain Marvel. We back and forth. We do it to just poke at each other.
Well, you know what? That's gonna be going on till the end of time too. Like it's never gonna stop either.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Caleb Comic Smurf, and yeah, I got those books, Smurf, and thank you. And and the Shazam movie, man, it was actually pretty good. I loved it. And it was like one of those good movies that it was just like
I don't know how this happened, but we still somehow didn't see it. Like we still didn't see it. I don't know how it just like kind of like got away from us. Like we had full intentions of like going to see it, like even opening weekend, but didn't, and it just somehow like got away. Like because then Captain Marvel came and it just all like kind of crept up, and I'm like, geez. So we're just kind of waiting for it to come out on DVD, and we'll just get it.
So yeah, speaking of Captain, yeah, I had to do it. I had to do it to you, Great Legend. I had to do it to you, Great Legend.
9/8.
But yeah, this is
gorgeous.
This was one of the first books that I literally took the phrase hunting down and hunted down, and I could like moments like if you don't remember moments where you bought a specific book that you considered like something that you were like hunted down that was precious to you, then you didn't have a passion doing it. Because I remember I was at McDonald's when I bought this book off of eBay. When I bought my Giant Size X-Men, I was in the Walmart parking lot. I can tell you places where I was at where I was buying from. Some are not. Some places I can't tell you where I was at, or some books you'll never know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've already seen it a few times on this episode. I was like, where the hell did I get that? Asking her.
Yeah.
But like my biggest grail, the New Mutants 98, I got it from our LCS. He hit me up, like, he's like, hey, I know you're a big Deadpool guy. They actually got two New Mutants 98 slabs in, a 9.8 and then the 8.5 I got. And the 9.8 was obviously out of my price range,
Oh
so.
yeah, there you go, crazy.
Well, that was the first one you ever got.
But like you said,
too.
remembering, yeah, that was like my first one. Like when he handed it to me, I was like shaking,
He was like a kid in a candy
the glare
store.
of the slabs. There you go. Like there, you can see it right there. He's in the glare of the slabs.
Right.
Yeah, that slab's coming from heaven.
Yeah. So like on this one, I bought it raw. I took a chance. I bought it raw. My wife told me I was a lunatic. This is at the beginning of my collecting. This is before this is like at that point in time, $100, me spending $100 a book was like a big deal. And so I did it without consulting her. I didn't talk to her. I don't know what y'all do, but I didn't talk to her. And she and I heard about it for a while. And so I sent it in, got it graded. It came back a 9.8. And I got on eBay and I showed her, I was like, look at how much this book is probably worth about now. And she was like, can we sell it? And I was like, no.
No, never.
He was like, I want that $100 back. I was like, no.
No. Exactly.
So,
right.
But
what
do you got?
Yeah. This one's another big favorite character. So first, Red Hood. This one I got fairly recently, finally.
Oh man, yeah, Jason. Oh, speaking of, do I have that one right here? Because let me see.
This is like the older CGC slabs too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, and there was one other one I was gonna show that it is this one right here.
See, the Red Hood is like maybe. A lot of like.
In freedom paperback.
Oh, we lost y'all for a second. Hello?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Are you there?
Yeah, there we go. I can see y'all.
Oh.
Yeah, I can kind of hear you.
All right, we're back.
All right, you're back.
All right, yeah, we got you.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
What were you saying, though?
Oh, no, I was just saying this is another one he got me because he got me the trade paperback and I love the story, but he was the one that found it in the single issue.
Yeah, so Clayman's art in that book is
this one is beautiful.
Oh
I love this Ivory one.
Mm-hmm. It looks so good in trade too, like in the trade.
Yeah. Nice
so
and death.
like on y'all's all right, y'all. So when y'all collect art, because me and my wife have an understanding where if it's over $300, I have to talk to her. But if it's not, but it works both ways. She says it works both ways. So I'm subject.
Well, you want to know what her favorite thing is? Here's like Daredevil 168 first, Elektra. Elektra's like my favorite female character, so that's a big one.
Yeah.
So if this is like up on the wall, and I'm like, oh damn, dude, look, there's first Elektra, like that's a huge one, I kind of look at her. She normally her favorite thing is ain't no one gonna tell you what to do.
That's
what she says every time.
What to do.
So
I ain't your mama. I'm gonna if it's your money, you want it, go for it. Like you got the bills covered, we're good. That's all that matters.
And so obviously the first time she did that, I'm like, oh, you're playing with me. Like I'm gonna get that and I'm gonna get thrown in the doghouse as soon as we get home. But no.
Seeing every once in a while, I'll see something. I'll be like, I'll look over at you. Is it too much, or can we get it? Because I really like it.
Yeah, Crusade goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, so.
Oh yeah.
It really does, yes.
It does, because my wife, my wife right now is she's a real bad online shopper. Our mail guy knows our house is prone for packages. He knows I get books and slabs and stuff, and my wife gets whatever the heck she gets off of Amazon and wherever else she orders crazy stuff. I told her no more oils.
She ordered so much.
So my delivery guy, he pretty much knows when it's to the point now where he doesn't even bring them at the beginning. he'll drop my regular mail off, and he'll just like drive around and come back at the end and just drop off everything at once. So that way it's not like sitting out there for somebody to just pick up or like make sure I'm like at home or whatever. So I'm grateful for that guy.
Right. Well, there was one time he had ordered so many packages, and there was a big order from In Stock Trades. Not realizing it had like 4 omnibuses in it and a bunch of multiple other trades. I had to carry that from the office all the way up into the apartment because he was at work that day. And I'm like, I got this. I can do it. She-Hulk it out. But it took my breath away. I could not breathe by the time I made it up to the apartment. I'm like, you're carrying your own packages. You could grab the mail when it gets here.
I think it actually had more than 4 Omnis in it, but 3 of those Omnis was the 3 volumes of the Jeff Johns Green Lantern ones. And if you've ever seen those ones, like...
Yeah, they're the thick ones. At some point, I had to like stop and readjust. Like, don't drop it. Don't drop it. Just, you can do this. I'm like, okay, from that point on, you're carrying your own box.
Speaking of order stuff, so check out these frames. I actually ordered these. I wish I could remember the name of the place. A, so I could shout them out, and B, so I could order more because they're dope. But it was like a comic display company. So like they're made 4 comics, and we put 2 of our, like we were saying, Batman and Catwoman is kind of our thing. So we put 2 of our like favorite covers up in it. Shout out to Comic Books NYC for this too. He A-okayed this to us actually because he had it and he knew this was like.
Yeah, and it's a frame specifically built for comics too.
That is awesome.
Yeah, like it doesn't even look like it's the book because you can't like see like.
Yeah, it looks like a picture, like it's the actual picture.
Yeah, it's actual.
But that's the book. That's the raw book in it. It's not like slabbed or top loaded or anything. It's like in the frame.
And then there's also this one that we have hanging up on the wall. Well, we are so close to having everything finished to like show the Nerdum Kingdom, but it's like almost there. There's so much everywhere, but that one is beautiful.
Those frames are cool. Those are awesome.
Mm-hmm. What was it you got them?
There is a sticker back here. It says "Perfect Cases and Frames. Protect and display. Custom display cases. Custom picture frames. Made in America." That's all it says. There isn't like a thing. So I don't know. I might have to get back at you or something, but I think it might be Perfect Cases and Frames. That kind of sounds familiar. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you guys aren't subscribed to Solgr Only and Fusha Only, their link is in the description. So go down and subscribe. These guys got great content. The show y'all do is the Married with
Married with Issues. Yes. Occasionally do the issues.
Yes, yes. It is a good show. I love that show. I watch stuff and I'll tell you, I watch a lot of stuff but I just like, I'll watch it and people are like, did he watch it? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'll watch it but I don't say stuff. It's like,
well, yeah, we're the same way. I mean, we're at work every day, so we miss a lot of this stuff. It goes on, and then a lot of us in different time zones and stuff too. So we watch a lot of stuff replay, too. So that's why I always try and comment as much as I can, so people know.
Yeah.
What's weird is like I pretty much live by Pacific Standard Time, but like I live in Central Time Zone. So, but it's like I know. It's like, it'd be 2 hours behind. Because I'll talk to Jeffrey. I'm like, hey, Jeffrey, what time is it? Jeffrey's like, that'll do. That's what time, Jeffrey, you gonna be free?
I know, yeah, because like anytime I advertise a time, I'll always do like both Pacific and Eastern.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in Western, but or Mountain. Sorry, Western.
Mountain.
Yeah, Mountain. Mountain Standard, I guess they call it. Whatever. Yeah. God, I forgot what the hell I was going to say. Oh, no, yeah, this one real quick.
Did you know there's a new Dr. Pepper with Mysterio on the can?
Yeah, that black.
It's dark berry.
How does it taste?
Not bad. It's actually pretty good.
This is actually your first time trying it right now, actually.
You can't quite taste the berry. It still tastes mostly like Dr. Pepper, but you get like a slight aftertaste of the berry. It's not bad. But it had Mysterio, and it was funny. We were walking out of the store, and he's like, "We're gonna cut Mysterio out of the box." Like, okay, we'll stick him on the wall somewhere.
Picture. I'd like to see it.
We're grown children. Whoever said we could adult was a bad idea. I don't know how we're still alive.
Like I told you, I was like, I don't think anyone said that.
No.
Okay, so I saw a pic. Well, there's been like the battle lines coming out recently. Like another wave of the battle line variants. We've gotten a few of them.
That one we actually got today.
Yeah, so this one we got today. Like, it was weird because I saw a picture of it. It was on Instagram, but it was like kind of like a solicitation looking. It wasn't like someone had it, like took a picture of it. But So, and I looked everywhere to see like if it was out already, or so I was looking at like back in solicitations and forward, and I couldn't see it anywhere. So I was like, whatever. And I go to this kind of third string comic book store that we barely go to,
Where I tried to find
and
Betty
it's sitting there,
Page.
but the Punisher one.
Oh.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. Like,
It's
I've never seen that one. I've never seen.
It's kind of a weird one, right? Because like I seen posts where it was every one. You know, it was like I don't know, like there was 4 rows. You know, of like 10, 15 different of the versions. You know, I had never seen this one, and that's why like when I saw it the one time on one post, I was like, and then like I said, I looked on previews and everything. I couldn't find it.
I want it.
Yeah.
Well, we had originally gotten it.
And when I found this was the only one. Like if there was more, I would have gotten them all and A-okay'd, you know, to some homies and stuff.
We were working on.
It was the only one.
We
it was
are
just
working on an A-okay for you as well.
See, now y'all gonna have everybody. Everybody's looking for it right there. Everybody's gonna be looking for it right.
I know. I might have to like, search it a little bit or something because like I had, like you said, I hadn't seen it either.
It's kind of funny that you weren't expecting to find that book when we originally went there to find the Betty Page one that wasn't there.
Yeah, we specifically went to
that Betty
store.
Page one where she's bent over on the cover. Is that the one you're talking about? The Anna is it the one?
It's the John Royal Mermaid one.
Oh no.
To number 4.
4, yeah, to number 4. Because I have the Red Riding Hood and I have like all the other ones like on the wall in the bedroom, and I'm collecting them all, but I'm missing 4. So I was trying to find that one. Because I love that art.
See, people,
if
you don't know what Betty Page is a 1940s, 50s pinup girl back in the day before like, you know, Marilyn Monroe and all the, you know, like Pam Anderson. That was the chick back in the day that you wanted to have up on your wall.
Naturally gorgeous without any surgery.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't wear a lot of makeup or either, you know, just really natural.
It's original too, and her bangs.
It wasn't no. I want to say I think they wanted to do Betty Boop on her, but I don't think it was her. I think it was somebody else. It was somebody else was supposed to be Betty Boop or something. But like,
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, speaking of Mysterio and battle lines, and there was this one too. It was sitting back there. We got.
Yeah, but
I have it in Mylar, so there's kind of a glare.
We got one other place to check to see if we can find that one, and if not, then we're just gonna have our local store order it.
Now, if
I come across any more of these Punishers, I'll pick some up.
Oh yeah. The only thing about the people buy like the Mysterio first appearance is like I'm wondering, like, you know, in most movies they kill the villain.
Right.
Oh,
this is so true.
So, I mean, yeah, you know, Mysterio will hold up or whatever because it's a Spider-Man villain and it's first appearance in a low issue Spider-Man book.
And it's like 16.
But it's like, you know,
it's early.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, like it's like usually like when a villain gets hot and it's like, you know, it's like, oh, you want this book, and then like when you get it, it's like the villain died in the movie. Oh, well, there that goes. And then it just cools off so fast. It cools off so fast.
Yeah, it really like a week or two after the movie, and then
it fluctuates with everything. Like it can change very quickly.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I know, I've always been a really big Mysterio fan too, you know. So I'm stoked to see him in
I
this
can't
movie.
wait for Far From Home now.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the new trailer since Endgame, and seeing the new trailer.
Oh, did you hear my theory about the Far From Home trailer and then like the timeline, the time travel thing and stuff like that? Did you hear the theory I had?
I don't think so.
Okay, so me and Jeffrey were on Bro Talk, and I was telling Jeffrey, I was like, okay, so you remember, spoiler alerts if you haven't seen Endgame, but everybody's probably seen it by now. But in Endgame,
if you haven't seen it by this point.
I have to use like a distributor. I'll just use these little things right here. But in Endgame,
was it your most recent Bro Talk? Because I swear I thought I watched that.
Yeah, the one where I was talking about where when Thanos had left when Thanos left his timeline and came to the timeline that they were in.
Oh, the new timeline.
Yeah, well, and so like when he left, so whenever he left his timeline or whatever, right? There was no Thanos. There was no Infinity Glove. There was no, you know, none of that happened because like he was never there. Because he died. Well, he died over here, but he wasn't there.
That's a good point.
So like basically, so there's no death of Tony Stark. There's no, you know, people are still it's like still ongoing without Thanos. So it's like there's Tony Stark still all the
This is the one thing though. See, we've been doing this too, like because
Yeah.
like I don't know if you've ever caught it in our shows, but like her mom is a huge
Yeah.
nerd too,
She-
comic book fan and
yeah.
all that too, and
Yeah.
we talked to her about all this stuff too. You know,
They actually have the same
we always
shirt.
debate about this, and one thing that I always keep forgetting, and I always try and keep in mind when we're debating like Endgame and the MCU, like future of the MCU and all this stuff with time travel and all this, and now their version of time travel is like so different than what a lot of shows and time travel stuff is, because they do the whole changing the past can't
They
change
set
your
the
future
guidelines
necessarily.
and-
It just creates different realities and
Yeah.
branches
Yeah.
of new timelines, and that's just so awesome how Bruce Banner puts it. Like because when you go to the past, your former present is now your past, and your and your past is now your present, or whatever, and it's like
And Loki got away.
yeah, like it's if you think about it though, like they set themselves up like beautifully, because now with all these new properties and stuff they have coming in, and
But
if they are doing
that-
this multiverse stuff, and now
I didn't think of that though. That is a good point with
Mhm.
Thanos, because if he's gone from that world, how did he get? There's a little glitch there. Like there has to be something that slips through the crack. Like
and it's funny because like Kevin Smith in his like review summary of Endgame, he said when he was watching it, like he's like near the end, he's like, oh, what are they gonna do? They kind of like wrote themselves into a corner, and then after he's like, oh wait, nope, never mind, they're good. Like they can literally do like so much stuff. Like it's I'm stoked for the future. Like
yeah.
And it's like they're gonna do like he said the parallel worlds or whatever. So, the coolest thing I've seen so far was like, all right, well they did like they said like the parallel worlds. The coolest thing I see, it was like this post on Instagram, and I swear it was like the coolest thing to see Tobey Maguire come through and help like Tom Holland. That would be like the baddest thing I'd ever see in my life. Just to see like Tobey Maguire come in, old Spider-Verse chiseled Tobey Maguire come in and help.
Yeah.
Actually, it might not have been that. The one I saw, it had Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. They had all three of them.
Yeah.
No, the one I
And they
seen,
were all
it was just like it was just him and Tobey Maguire like teaming up or whatever. I was like, I guess the person that posted it or whatever, like whoever made it, was like, forget old Andrew Garfield.
Forget Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know. There's so much they could do too, and it's awesome because like with this whole first, 10, 11 years, of it, these 22 films, they call this like the Infinity Saga. So now after Far From Home, we go into the next one.
Oh yeah.
Is it like Secret Wars?
What is it gonna be?
I'm
ready for the whole ride. I'm ready
for
the whole ride. I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Yep. Yeah, there's so much stuff they can do. I mean, obviously, it's already started getting really cosmic and stuff too, but they're gonna keep going that route, I'm sure.
Well, it works out perfect though, because it's my mom that was been showing me previews for Good Omens that's coming out on Amazon Prime.
That looks so
on
good.
the 31st of this month. I'm so stoked for it. So it's like she lets me use her Amazon to watch that, and I let her use my Netflix so she can watch Lucifer. It works.
The only thing I'm waiting for on Amazon is Invincible, the R-rated cartoon. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh yeah.
I am waiting for that show to come out so I can see that show. Like I can see Invincible, just like
like motion.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah. I totally know what you mean. I've been watching a lot of the Batman animated series lately. Again,
Oh yeah.
I love that. Love it.
Well,
like Conway's Batman.
Do y'all got anything coming up?
Well, we are kind of like we do have our. I don't know if we've even actually like hit 200 subs exactly yet. I know we're like. I think the last time I looked was 199. So
we're almost there.
We did start our 200 sub giveaway though.
Yes.
There's like a post on Instagram in our last 2 episodes of Married with Issues where you can just comment like your favorite character, and that get you entered.
Yeah.
And then on a future episode, one soon, probably not our next one, but in the next week or like a couple weeks.
And the books are still right here. Yeah.
We've never done
a
a giveaway. This is our first giveaway or whatever, so we'll probably random generator a name or something. I don't know, but
giveaways are fun.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we could show you what we'll do the giveaway. Yeah, if you haven't seen it. So, Fantastic Four, the Volume 1, Omni, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby.
You giving away an omnibus, the Fantastic Four omnibus?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
first printing of the volume 1 too. Like they don't even print this one anymore.
Yes, go
Dude.
big or go
And you want to
home.
know why I'm doing it?
As
Go
as
big or
as
go home.
Jim Mint would say, that was what, a whale or what it was. He says the white
Like
whale.
all I'll see is like like they normally have like the $100 cover prices or whatever, but I get them from in stock trade, so they're half that. Like
Yeah, a lot of the trades and omnibuses that we've gotten have been from in-stock trades where it's discounted.
But
Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to afford it.
But in stock trades, they normally don't have the whales. Like the first printings that are rare and worth more. This one, I don't think I got from in stock. I think this one, and it was another one of those situations. I accidentally doubled up on it.
Forgot that he ordered it and ordered it again. I mean,
yeah, all of a sudden I had two of them. I'm like, well, I can't think of who I'll AOK it to, so let's just do a giveaway when we hit something.
Yeah, so we'll be giving that one away, and then we'll also be giving this one away too.
Ooh,
It's
the Lee Bermejo
Detective Comics 1000.
It was the Midtown exclusive for Detective 1000 by Lee Bermejo. And then,
it's still a work in progress.
What happened to the print? There was a.
I don't know. I know we cleaned yesterday, but I don't know where it went. That's what happens.
Oh yeah.
We moved in like 2 months ago, and we're still like almost settled in. Like we look like so much. So here soon we're gonna do like a video of our apartment because there's like Batman toaster, Catwoman, Batman, everything like all over the place. It looks like an overgrown child's house. Like you let a 6-year-old come in and decorate.
Oh, it's like when my in-laws they come over and like the whole like the den is all man caved out with all just like because you can see like Thor in the background. I got Spider-Man up here, Superman's over here, Batman and the Avengers are right there, giant size X-Men, signed Hulk stuff and all kinds of stuff over here. And it's like they come like some of the guys will come in, like the girls will just like like they'll just look at me like like
To be fair, some of it is mine. To be fair, so I can't complain about it. But
like half of it is, So yeah, it's not all mine.
It's a little less than half, but it works.
Yeah, it probably is less than half of mine because I do go crazier. Than you do.
He does, but it's okay. And so yeah, we'll be also giving away this print though too, that we got at our Wasatch Con.
Oh, that's sweet. Star Trek.
And it's by J.K. Woodward, I think.
Yes, it is J.K. Woodward. Which is really awesome. I got that signed. The Q Conflict comics that have been coming out, he signed a print this size that he drew and signed it for me at the con. So I at least got one of those signatures, and he was really cool to talk to.
I thought that was a pretty dope print. Like you see the Enterprise like with the moon and Earth, like it's like flying that close to us, like I don't know, it just looks cool.
Yeah, that scar's kind of moved down because when I was little, it used to be like right here, and it looked like the Star Trek triangle because it was bacon grease, and it's moved down. So I'm like, I was born to be a Trekkie. I can't help it. I still like Star Wars though. So it works out.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like all around sci-fi. Anything sci-fi is pretty cool for me.
Same.
So, me too, because I'm even like the same 50-50 with Marvel, DC, and all that too.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Yeah, I'm not really picky about Marvel or DC either. I like both. Like people kind of look at me like I got the Flash back there, Green Lantern. It doesn't bother me. Like I like both sides of the coin, I guess is that you would say.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're gonna shut it down because we're at an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
So
we tend to get carried away.
Oh yeah, that's fine, no problem. This is what the show's for, to let everybody get in on the inside of your collecting. So I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out with us. I'd like to thank Solgr and Fusha for coming out and showing us their great collection. Next week I'll be doing What's Your Grail. So my guest will be Catherine Figures. And it'll be at a special time because she'll be doing her show. So I'll be doing Grails a little bit later than normal. I'll be doing it at 8 o'clock, Pacific Standard Time. So it's just for the one time only, I'll be doing it at that time. So
Hell yeah, I look forward to that one.
Yeah,
And you guys in
for
chat,
sure.
if you guys didn't see the episode last week with Comic Smurf, you guys had an awesome show. I loved you guys' show last week. I watched it on replay. I didn't catch it live, but
And I do want to say thank
yeah, it
you
was
so
good.
much for having us. It's been a pleasure
yeah.
being able to be here.
Oh, I'm glad to have y'all on, and I'm glad that y'all came out and showed everybody, what it's like to be married and collect.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, well,